what can we do when we have repeatedly asked for... Oh, okay. Hi.
Turning the lights on.
Yeah, how about, is there any way to get lights on here?
Lights.
Camera.
Okay. What can we do when we have repeatedly asked for a public hearing on hydrofracking for a moratorium and been denied? Who would like to take that one?
I mean, you need a new town board. No, really.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, that's one of the most difficult things I see going around from town to town. Looking in the faces of the community members, the residents of that community who are saying, we want a timeout, we want to know more, we want to study this. And to have a town board sit back and not listen, not even care, or some of them have leased, that's a bit of a conflict in my opinion. And to look at those people who are saying, we want to know more, we want a timeout. And I think what you have to do, what we did in Middlefield, one of the things that we were cognizant of is, is this just this group of us? Are we the only ones that are upset about this? And a lot of us didn't know a lot about it. So we held our own public forums. We had a big meeting at a school. We invited experts to come in. We had the gas industry speak at forums. We asked questions. We studied. We brought information forward to our town board. And I have to say we were incredibly lucky. We had a town board, even some members who had had old leases in the past, they listened to the facts, and they took their responsibility to protect their town seriously. Another thing we did was to survey the entire town of Middlefield. We asked our residents, do you want this or not? We had a 75% response rate, and of that 75%, 84% said no, we don't want it. 8% were in favor and 8% were undecided. We took those numbers to our town board saying, this is what your town wants you to do. And our town agreed. They looked at the facts and said, this goes along with everything that Middlefield stands for. I think what you have to do with those town boards is, keep after them, show them, bring those surveys forward, fill up your town board meetings, keep presenting the facts. And if they keep not listening, I hate to say it, but if they allow your town to pursue gas drilling and you as a homeowner are affected, if you lose your water, if you lose your home value, you can bet that as a resident of that town, I would be going after my town for not doing what they should have done and protecting me from what we told them to be true.
Okay, here's a slotchy question. Is it
No slotches.
is it costly in terms of legal costs to enact a moratorium ban on gas drilling in a town? Okay.
Just to keep Kelly from having to answer all those questions, I am also a resident of Middlefield, so I know some of how things went there. We didn't purely enact a town ban. When this whole issue was coming up, and it's been brewing for about 4 years, partly because I live in that town and I've been bringing it up with the town board for about 4 years. It's been, what's been brewing in the town has been a comprehensive update of our comprehensive plan, which was first drafted in 1972, first passed in 1975, and they thought it was high time for an update. So we decided to update in a very sober and serious way, making sure that we were covering all the points of SECRA law, of any impact new decisions could possibly have on the town use, on the environment, on the business climate, every other layer of an impact on the town. We took a look at a comprehensive update of our zoning ordinances. The zoning ordinances in Middlefield had always prohibited heavy industry. And the only addition we made with respect to oil and gas drilling was to, include them as examples of the heavy industry for which there was no allotted space in Middlefield. But we did, so it's hard to say what our our total costs were, because our total costs took in, hiring a team of attorneys to get us started on the update for the comprehensive plan. Hiring up a couple of experts, I gave my expertise for free because it's my town. But some other people, made out a little better because they have to do this to eat. And we also, of course, then had, the added layer of the fact that, we got sued. I think if you break it down, the cost for the comprehensive plan update was $10,000 to $13,000 in that ballpark. The cost of the suit itself was another $13,000 or $15,000. So much of it was mixed up together. It's hard to get exact numbers on, what component cost what. We could probably get that from our town supervisor, our town attorney, but no one asked me that before I was coming. So, but that's the ballpark. And if they do decide to file an appeal, and no appeal has been filed yet, that has been estimated to cost us another $30,000 or so to defend. But again, it hasn't happened. The driller who was interested in doing some activity in our town, who had carried out the clandestine seismic testing, well, it was clandestine until they set off the dynamite charges. That driller is pulled out of the state, if not the country, because they actually were a struggling company already. And so we don't know if an appeal will definitely go forward in our case, just because
30 seconds.
the root cause for bringing the appeal seems to have moved away. But so that's the rough of costs as we know them so far.
Just a quick addition, and the question was, how much does a moratorium cost? A moratorium costs you nothing, other than if you need additional legal help for your own town attorney. And there are attorneys out there that will do this pro bono. They won't charge you to come in and help you draft that language. A moratorium is a timeout. A moratorium does not cost you anything. A moratorium is your town saying, hey, wait a minute, we want to step back. We want to be careful about this. We want to look at all the facts. We in Middlefield knew we were going to be sued. But they're not going to go around and sue every little town. That costs a lot of money. They have 2 cases now, Dryden and Middlefield. We knew they were going to come after us, which is why we were so careful to, cross all the T's and dot all the I's and go that extra mile. That's why it cost us a little more. But a moratorium costs you nothing. A moratorium gives you peace of mind.
Okay. Here's one for Chip. What is the deal on seismic testing?
Well, really, very quickly, again, this is emblematic of the state's lack of regulations. New York is one of the few states where there are no regulations on seismic testing, meaning you could shoot a seismic test, drill a hole, set off dynamite anywhere in the state, and the state, there is no setbacks for anything on that. This is sort of unusual, but it's not unusual for New York to have no regulations that address the location of where you can shoot seismic. Just to give you an example, in some states, and my favorite is Louisiana, where they shoot seismic in the bayous and water, you can't shoot seismic within 1,000 feet of a boat in Louisiana. In this state, you can shoot a seismic shot anywhere, and that could screw up somebody's well, somebody's foundation of their house, you name it. No regulations for that in New York State. Thank you, Chesapeake.